You know exactly what you want your life to look like. You can picture the success, the income, the completely different lifestyle. You even know you are capable of getting there. But days, months, and years pass, and you remain completely motionless. This happens because the brain confuses thinking with progress. When you clearly imagine reaching goals, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine, creating a false sense of satisfaction. It feels like you've already achieved something, so your internal urgency to act drops to zero. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to bypass those neurological roadblocks by building your personalized action-first blueprint. Beating this dopamine trap separates the people who build things from the people who just talk about them. To do this properly, you need to actively participate. Grab a pen and a piece of paper right now. At the top of your paper, write down the words, "my barrier." We have to identify exactly how your brain avoids action. The first common roadblock is the fear of failure. If you never try, your dream remains safe and perfect in your head. Testing it in reality risks damaging your self-image. The second option is the readiness trap. This is the persistent belief that you need to feel fully prepared, motivated, or emotionally comfortable before taking step one. The third is overthinking exhaustion. You analyze every possible step, outcome, and worst-case scenario. By the time you actually need to execute, your mental energy is completely drained, so you do nothing. And the fourth is identity misalignment. Your brain resists doing things that don't match how you secretly view yourself. If deep down you believe you are unorganized or lack discipline, your actions will default to match that internal belief. Look at that list and pick the one that hits closest to home. Write it down next to "my barrier." Naming the exact psychological roadblock takes it out of the shadows. Seeing it on paper turns a vague internal struggle into a technical problem with a specific solution. Step 2. Below your barrier, write down your massive, exciting big dream. Now, take your pen and aggressively cross it out. We do this because humans are naturally addicted to the excitement of potential. Talking about a future life is thrilling. Actually doing the slow, repetitive, highly uncomfortable work required to get there is not. Underneath that crossed-out goal, write down the unglamorous, boring daily effort that actually builds that dream. Forget the 1,000,000 subscribers and focus on the daily hour of editing clips in a quiet room. Stripping away the fantasy forces your brain to stop daydreaming and anchor itself in the strict reality of the work. Now we tackle cognitive load. When a task is large or vaguely defined, your brain immediately calculates the high energy required to complete it. This triggers overthinking exhaustion, paralyzing you before you even begin. To bypass this, look at the effort you just wrote down and shrink it. Condense it into a micro-task. It needs to be so small that it requires absolutely zero mental energy to execute. If your required effort is writing a book chapter, your microtask is opening a blank document and typing a single sentence. If it's starting a business, the microtask is just registering the domain name. Decide what your embarrassingly small microtask is right now and write it at the bottom of your page. By shrinking the effort down to a microscopic action, the task becomes impossible to fail. Your brain's fear response never triggers. The biggest lie your brain tells you is that you need to wait for the right moment. It convinces you that if you just wait for a sudden surge of motivation, the work will be easier. Psychology proves the exact opposite. Readiness does not trigger action. Action triggers readiness. The motivation you are waiting for will only arrive after you start moving. So here's the final step. In a few seconds, I want you to pause this video, stand up, and go execute your microtask right now. Do not hesitate, just move. You have permission to step away from this tutorial. Go open the document, go import the video clip, go make the one phone call. Hit pause, do the task, and come back. Forcing yourself into physical motion while actively feeling unready is how you break the habit. You stop relying on emotional comfort, and you train your brain to act on command. Welcome back. Now, take your pen and draw a heavy checkmark next to your completed microtask. Earlier, we talked about identity misalignment. When you tell yourself you never finish things, your brain fights to keep your actions in line with that narrative. That checkmark is tactile, physical data. You just gave your brain undeniable proof that an action was actually completed, directly contradicting the old narrative. This log serves a specific purpose. You are gathering the hard evidence required to overwrite your self-image, shifting your identity from someone who just dreams into someone who executes. You just moved from thinking to doing. While opening a document or making one call might seem minor, it represents a physical break from the cycle of pure imagination that usually keeps you stuck. The action-first blueprint gives you a repeatable framework. Identify the barrier, strip away the fantasy, shrink the effort into a microtask, and move before you feel ready. This systematic approach continually overrides your brain's lazy default settings. Tomorrow, you are going to repeat this exact process. You will pick another boring microscopic task and execute it. You will build momentum by stacking these unglamorous actions day after day. Having big dreams is entirely common, but making them real has nothing to do with natural talent. The only difference is the raw ability to take physical action, even when your own mind is begging you to sit still and do nothing.